You want to give a little bit of time. Acrylic dries pretty quickly, but a little bit of time to dry before you add another layer or another color. And so I am going to use this magenta now, and I'm doing another layer in the hair area. And I want to try to cover up these words a little bit better. So just do another layer. It's okay if it doesn't fully cover it, but I'm going to slow down a little because I see I got some magenta in that hairline. So you want to go slow and just cover as well as you can the areas that you want to continue with coverage. And so I'm going to continue going further down where there's more letters down here and words that I want to cover over. And I do like seeing some of the texture from before, so I'm going to leave that. But giving it a nice other layer. Acrylic dries like plastic, so it's a nice layer to work over and on top of. And as you're painting, I want you to think about your magazine transformation and what you're thinking about, what words come to mind when you're looking at your image, to give it a deeper meaning, to give it some meaning rather than, a way to make people and viewers think about something more they want, and it's subliminal, and that means it's not conscious. It's like something we don't know, we don't think about it, it just is kind of, it affects us over time. Subliminal advertising, right? Things we see all the time, it starts to make us think, oh, maybe I need that. Oh, maybe that's something I need. And it's not super conscious, so it's subconscious, it's underneath. So now I'm going to give just a little bit more color to the lips, going in there slow to stay inside of that shape. And again, if there's some areas where you're like, oh, I want to clear that off, I sometimes use the back of the brush, or I'll use my nail, and I'll clear off a little bit of coloring that I want to clear off. And just one more layer of that magenta in this spot where I'm covering over some of those words. And I've decided to bring her hairline down, which works well too. I'm just making that line a little bit further down because I had some paint that got there, and I decided to bring her hairline down. When you wash out your brush, especially when you go to a lighter color, you want to make sure that you let that color dry so the colors don't mix so much. So I'm going to add her eyebrow there. Even though this is a mask and you probably wouldn't see the eyebrow, it's just a decision I thought I would make and try. And part of me wonders if I should have left it, but I'm going to take a look now. And I'm just going to add a little more paint to define it a little more. And I feel pretty good about the way that's looking now. Now, one more thing I will do to complete it is I'm going to do one last layer over this part of the face. And the ear. And there it is. And now when this dries, I'm going to use a word or words that I want to bring into this piece to bring in the transformation. I'm going to also be adding some patterns as I did in my other images. I have some extra paint, so I'm just going to lather it up onto here and bring it into there, that piece, to thicken it and also cover some of those words that I'm still working to cover. And that is feeling pretty good to me, so I'm going to let that dry. And then what I'll do is bring the other image that I was working on, and I'm going to get my paint markers. And I'm going to take the word, as you will be doing after everything dries. The word connection is the word I want to use, and I'm going to start to print it or write it as kind of a wallpaper in the back here. So I'm just going to open this up a little better. I'm going to get some patterns and designs. I'm going to get out a few colored markers, paint markers. I'm going to use this pink color. And these markers that I'll have in class have a brush side and a paint side. I'm going to use the smaller side. And I'm going to really work to get my lettering back here. It's going to become part of a pattern. Now, you want to make sure you're spelling your word correctly. Look it up if you need to, or ask me or someone else at your table. So I'm going to start a pattern of words. I noticed that the side that I was using wasn't working super well. I kind of liked it a little faint, but now I've started using the brush side and it's coming out much more fluidly. So I'm going to actually go with that. Maybe I'll do it, try it in different ways. Yeah, see, that's very faint or lighter. If you don't get the whole word on there, don't worry. Just go ahead and keep going. You can also change the size of the letters if you'd like. You can make it smaller. You can make it larger. You can change it as you'd like, but it is a bit of a pattern. Once again, it's a repetition. We're repeating it. We don't have to be able to read it, so you could have words and letters in different ways. So here is the completed piece, or almost completed piece. I think I still want to add some other colors and patterns, especially on top of her hair. I want to give that a little bit more depth with another color, and I like some of these colors I'm pulling out here. I go with the purple. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and repeat some of these spirals. I'm going to try some polka dots. This purple is working much better. Yeah, I like that, and I like that her top is polka dotted, so it sort of unifies and brings the image together. Whenever you're repeating some patterns and design decisions, it ends up bringing the image together in a cool way. Have fun, relax, take some deep breaths, focus, but you can also, chit chat with a friend. As you're thinking about that message, wonder maybe what would they be talking about, or have they been together for a long time, or are they just starting out? Maybe some thoughts come to mind as you're working on your creative endeavor here with transforming an image. I'm actually adding more dots to some of these because I just like that, and the thought of Starry Night just came to mind. The Vincent van Gogh, very famous artwork. If you get tired of creating a line or doing something, you can take a break and go to something else, and then, come back to that. Like, if you need a break, take it, but don't start getting like careless or sloppy or whatever that might be. I like some other contrast, like a brighter polka dot in between some of these, and I think I'll do it on every other one, so it's not something I have to do on all of them, but I'm taking a break from those spirals a little bit. That's totally fine. And we want to share the markers because, we have limited markers and lots of students, so go ahead and just make sure that you are sharing them. Also, if your paper is wet at all, you need to make sure to not use the markers. We want to take care of them and have them last because they're a wonderful tool, but we also want to make sure that we're taking care of them. And something I'm seeing here that I'm tempted to do is to outline his glasses with this color. I like that pop of color in there. I'm going to go ahead and color that in. The other word that comes to mind is like cheerful, because they look very cheerfully connected. I'm going to go ahead and outline part of her as well. And then I'm going to come back to these spirals. keep going until it looks and feels done to you. And there it is.